Hi, this is Jason here in Las Vegas, Nevada on April 22nd, 2010 in my backyard with my 20-foot round above ground pool. I'm using my new Ruud 4-22-10.MP4 BTU heat and cool heat pump. This unit is actually running out here right now with current air temperatures of only 48 degrees at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have never seen it this cold and cloudy and rainy here this late in April. It was 88 degrees in my backyard 3 days ago. Right now it's about 48. We have about 55% humidity. We've had some rain showers in the last half an hour, and the heat pump's been running since this morning to keep my pool warm. I've had it off for several days, and then I turned it on just yesterday to start running a little bit today. And I wanted to take a little video here to show everybody how well it's working. You can probably kind of see some of the raindrops on top of the heater here. The unit is running fine. It's very quiet. We have no ice buildup on the evaporator coil. This is a heat and cool model, so it does have a power defrost feature where it can actually melt the ice off of the unit if any builds up so that it can continue to run. So when it gets down into the 40s and 30s outside, got any colder out here, this would start to build up with some frost on it usually, and then the heater would go into like a 3 to 5 minute cycle, melt that ice off, and then continue to run to keep the pool warm. Whereas most heat pumps would just shut down and they wouldn't come back on until tomorrow when the air temperature warmed up again. I've got my big Pentair Triton 60 sand filter right here. By far the best sand filter I've ever owned in my life. Keeps the pool perfectly clean. We sell these all the time and recommend them for customers with their pool setup. Even on a 20-foot round above ground, which isn't that big, I went oversized. I have 9,000 gallons of water. This filter right here can handle up to 25 or 30,000 gallon pools. It works great. But I just wanted to have an ultra clean pool and not have to mess with it. So as far as the heat pump goes, I want to show everybody, I've got these boards set up here which protect my camera that monitors this live for the website, and also some external thermometers that I have hooked up. I've got wires running over here and down into the pool which measure the water temperature coming out on the outlet line right here, and they also measure the water temperature going in over here on the inlet line. So come down here and check this out. And what we got going on right now is sometimes when you read the red digital LED on the heater, it does not show up very well on the camera. So it may or may not be coming up properly. But the heater says the water going in is 75.6. My thermometer says it's 75.2 water going in, coming out at 79.3. So the heater is instantly adding 4.1 degrees of heat to the water. And look at the air temperature going into the side of this heater is only 48.2 with an air temperature coming out at 38.7. So this is showing you that in cold weather, in the desert, anywhere you live basically, how well a heat pump actually works. Now, the only reason my pool's not 85, which would sound a lot better right now, is because I had the pool uncovered for the last couple days and we got a major cool down. So the water was actually 68 degrees this morning. And then I turned the heater on at about 9 o'clock, so which was about 4.5 hours ago. And the temperature has now already come up 6 degrees on my pool in that period of time. So very impressive. I wish I had it up hotter right now because that would look better for the video. But this is reality, and I just turned it on this morning. So we're not lying and trying to make these heaters sound any better than they already are. This is a fantastic unit made by Ruud heat pumps, and it's just impressive. I've never seen cold temperatures like this at the end of April in Vegas. It's always in the 70s and 80s. We have this little storm and cold front that's going through right now, and it's snowing in the mountains right behind the house here, only a couple thousand feet above the valley floor. It's just incredible to see this, so I had to take a video of it for everybody. But here you are, seeing exactly how well the heater works. You got a 4-degree rise in temperature, which is able to heat my pool over 1 degree per hour on 9,000 gallons. It's about what I've been getting right now with only air temperatures at 48. And if you talk to everybody about heat pumps, they'll tell you that you can't have a heat pump unless, it's just not going to work unless it's 70 or 80 outside. That they're no good in cold weather. And it's actually completely not true. As long as you have the heater sized properly for your pool and don't get too small of a heater for a large pool, you will do just fine, even in temperatures like this. I mean, you could live in Illinois and, it might be 75 degrees in the daytime, but it might be 45 at night, and you think that's just too cold for a heat pump. Well, if you get this kind and you get a good quality brand, and not all of them will do it, but this one will, you will have no problem keeping that pool nice and hot very affordably, a lot less than the price of natural gas, at least half the price of natural gas usually, and 3 to 5 times cheaper than propane. It's really amazing. I want to point out a couple other really neat features that I have hooked up here. which is my Nature 2 mineralizer. This unit installs on the plumbing. You just drill a hole and put it right on the 1.5-inch pipe or 2-inch pipe, and you screw in this canister that screws in right here like this. You put one in every 6 months, and it's a mineralizer that requires you to put about a third or a fifth of the amount of chlorine tablets in your pool to keep the chlorine level at where you want it. This keeps the pool water a lot cleaner with the mineralizer inside of it that the water is going through. You can see the little balls bouncing around on the top. That means the water's moving through and everything's active. And it's just a very good technology. You can read about it more on our website to really keep your chlorine level down in your pool. It saves you a lot of money. You're not buying as many tablets. Your water's a lot softer. You don't have as much of that gritty chlorine feeling to it. And my pool doesn't get nearly as green with algae as it used to get with just having one of these cartridges put on there every 6 months. And the cartridges are not that expensive. They definitely pay for themselves. And this whole canister stays in place. You just unscrew this top part when the water pumps off and screw a new one in. So that's definitely something everybody should really be looking at putting on their pools if they do chlorine and tablet feeders. And here I have an example of a really nice tablet feeder that we sell, made by Pentair. This is called a Rainbow Model 320. You actually unscrew the lid up here when the pump's off, and you can drop your tablets in here, 3-inch tablets, and then you set the dial to how much chlorine you want to have this actually chlorinate. So you can go all the way down. You can turn the dial and have it all the way go down to 1, which is a very small amount of chlorine that's going to go into the pool, which is perfect for having a Nature 2. Or if your pool's been really green and you want to give it quite a bit of chlorine for a day or so, you turn it all the way up to 5. I usually keep mine like around 2, 2.5, and that does a really good job. And the tablets go in there. You can put like 6 or 7 tablets in, which is really nice. So you can go out of town for 3 or 4 weeks, and this will constantly chlorinate your pool without putting the chlorine tablets in a skimmer or inside a floater going around the pool. This is actually a lot more of a safer and more economical way to dissolve tablets in your water. And you put this after any sort of heater installation you have. And you put a check valve right there also, so that when it shuts off the pump at night, when everything turns off, none of the chlorine that's built up in here can back up into the water pipe and go into your heat exchanger. Now, even though these are titanium heat exchangers, which are guaranteed to really never corrode or fail on you because of the titanium, it's always a good idea to have a check valve which stops any of that chlorine from backing up at night, every single night into the system. And also having the check valve there allows me to unscrew the lid without water gushing out of the top, because it stops the flow, so that at least with my above ground setup, it's really convenient for me to have it like that. But it's always recommended, especially if you have a gas or propane heater, which of course is all copper piping inside. They're very corrosive with any pool chemicals and chlorine. So these tablet feeders on the outlet side as the water's going back into the pool is the best way to do it. So once again, let's check the temperatures to just see where we are here real quick before I shut the video off. Now the air is going in at 48.0, coming out at 39, and we still have a difference of about 4 degrees on the water temperature. The heater's still saying 75.6, and it's working fantastic. It's really amazing to see how well these heaters work out here, and to show our customers all across the country and worldwide that you can't always believe necessarily your pool guy or the local pool store who doesn't really give you very good information about heat pumps. They tell you the only thing you can buy is gas or propane. And there's no other way to heat your pool effectively. Heat pumps aren't powerful enough. They don't work unless it's really hot outside. There's a lot of misconceptions about heat pumps, and you really need to know and understand how well they work. And a lot of the people in the pool business have not taken the time to learn, to go to the conventions, study the product, and that's what we're experts on. This is what we do, and we do a good job of it. We're very careful with our customers and what we recommend to everybody. And I've been using one here in Vegas for the last, oh gosh, about 4 years now, taking videos, testing a lot of different brands. And so far, this Ruud has outperformed everybody I've had, all the different brands I've used. They're all good ones, but this one has been the best, in my opinion, for quiet, for construction, how tough it is. I mean, very strong powder-coated steel cabinet. You can't really beat the quality and construction of this unit. It has a 34-inch base, so 34 by 34-inch rectangle. So it fits in a lot of locations. It's not oblong or rectangular or weird shaped. And this one takes particularly a 50-amp circuit breaker on a 220-volt power line. Thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to go inside and warm up now on this cold April 22nd day in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching.